Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Raw Cloud. Today I wanted to share information about the Navy Alliance and all of these groups that we affiliated with from other star nations out there in the galaxy. We have come together in agreement to help Earth out and get Earth civilization on track. A lot of the new energies that you're seeing coming in is not just coming from the sun itself. It's coming from a lot of other star nations out there that hold humanity best interests at heart and removing a lot of the negative forces that have been plaguing the earth for quite some time now, and trying to keep Earth civilization on a more positive timeline. So stick around, enjoy these clips, and have a wonderful, blessed Sunday. Hello, guys. I want to share this information with you guys about the Navy Alliance. And there's a lot of human district military alliances like the Marines and other groups out there that have formed in agreement to go out and defend Earth colonies out in space. Like I said before, we have been in agreements with the federations out there to bring human civilization up to a new era where we can not only protect our human society, but go out there in agreements to form other colonies on other planets and to meet and greet and be like a family to other civilizations out there, where we can deal with fair trade. It's just not going out there and defending, but trading and learning and building a sustainable society in a peaceful, negotiable matter, and to just evolve our human race in a positive way. Of course, now, you know that these, in the beginning, Hitler had some agreements with the Dracos and certain Greys to conduct, more nefarious experiments because he too wanted to, venture out in space. He had this idea of conquering and being the best and bringing a more, how should I say, controllable, and it would have been non-sustainable. Eventually, it was just going to fall apart because that's just not how the universe really works. You just can't force your will on to others and think that everything is going to be okay with that. So anyway, I just wanted to share, what the alliances have been doing along with the white hat military to bring us up in a more positive era where we can grow and learn from other species out there. There is human colonies out there that is more or less protected by the military, and we are learning, growing, and living long lives out there. There's a lot of technology out there that is open to these human colonies out there, um, that we have here, but it's hidden. It will be coming out as soon as we get rid of more of this negative controlling force. We are desperately sweeping the planet to bring it up in a more higher vibrational state. And we are doing this, together. So hopefully in the near future, you will see a lot of good things come out as far as technology. Um, Not just technology, but new ways of thinking, new ways of growing, new forms of, you know, government structure, but more or less in a positive way, more or less counsel, humans being more involved in their growth and in their future, and just helping the earth in a more positive way, because this is our planet and we need to protect it. We need to know what's going on, and we need the truth. So that's what we're working for, bringing more truth out. No more of the humans can't handle the truth. That stuff has got to go. Um, the people that are ready for the truth, and there's a lot of people that is out there that are ready for the truth. So this is what we're working on. And the 1%, they will have to move to the side. They would no longer be this 1%. They will either fall in line with the rest of us, or they will be removed altogether. So I hope you enjoyed this video clip of what the alliances do. Hopefully I can obtain more information, because it only helps. It really helps us grow and learn. And a lot of this stuff, the Alliance have been putting out. They put it out in movies. They put it out in video games. They put it out in PC games. And a lot of the ships that they do have will be on these PC games. They are exact replicas of what we have, the starships that we have out there in space. Whether it be, huge battleship cruisers or small cruisers, they are putting these replicas of what we have out there on in the movies, in video games, and that's a good way to seed, the truth for those that may not be ready for it coming out through government officials just yet. But people got to wake up, take accountability for their growth, learn to research what's out there, because they put it there for you guys, and hopefully we can remove a lot of the disinformation out there that is seeded into Wikipedia. I know that when you research things on YouTube and Wikipedia, will display, the reptilians being fictional characters or folklore, and that's just not true. They are as real as you and I. So, and it's gonna come out eventually. It's gonna come out. You guys are already ready for the truth. If you are vibing with me, understanding my information on a spiritual level, because it is spiritual. Everything that happens out there in the universe really happens within, us on a soul level. So, and you guys have your own experience where you tell me about what's going on with you, and within your dream state you guys do travel the way I do. Most of you don't think that you can remote view, but you really can. um so anyway, I hope you enjoyed this clip, and like I said, hopefully I can obtain more information about the Alliance and what we are doing on all of these levels. I love, honor, and respect all of you guys. Have a good day.
When human civilization first pushed past the boundaries of the solar system, the question of whether or not mankind was alone in the universe had already been answered. Ruins uncovered on Mars and the discovery of a mass relay orbiting Pluto left little doubt that extraterrestrial civilizations were waiting to be discovered. It was a matter of when, and not if. For this reason, the first tentative expeditions launched by the Systems Alliance were of a military nature, and the consequences of this decision would echo across the ensuing decades. Even when humanity was granted a place on the Citadel Council, and it became a preeminent member of the interstellar community, its greatest impact on the galaxy was not made by its culture, its ideologies, or its sciences, but by the ships of the Systems Alliance Navy. As the primary interstellar service branch of the Systems Alliance Armed Forces, the Alliance Navy was one of the most important human institutions. It was tasked with protecting Systems Alliance colonies, space stations, mass relays, and the various transit routes linking them together. As the Navy grew in strength, it was increasingly able to project force outside Alliance territory, engage in forward peacetime deployments, and rapidly respond to regional crises. During what would become a tumultuous time in galactic history, the Navy was a significant element of the Systems Alliance foreign and military policy. The structure of the Alliance Navy included numerous component services and independent branches, yet its most significant operating forces were organized under the command of several numbered fleets. Each of these fleets consisted of various classes of corvettes, frigates, destroyers, and cruisers, responsible for escorting the far larger dreadnoughts and carriers that formed the centerpieces of these task forces. As a signatory of the Citadel Council, and by extension the Treaty of Ferrixon, the Alliance Navy was limited in the number of dreadnoughts that could be constructed. Peacekeeping across Council space was the chief duty of the Turian hierarchy, and only one Systems Alliance dreadnought was permitted for every 5 operated by the Turians. This was later extended to a 5-to-3 ratio when mankind was granted a seat on the Citadel Council. To make up for this imbalance, however, the Systems Alliance pioneered the use of fleet carriers, a distinctly human design. By replacing the mass accelerator cannons found aboard most dreadnoughts with extensive hangars, the fleets of the Alliance Navy were able to operate many more larger ships compared to their similarly restricted rivals. At its height in 2186, the Systems Alliance Navy was operating 9 dreadnoughts, a mere fraction of the number utilized by the Turian hierarchy or Asari republics, but many thousands of smaller ship types. The 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th fleets were stationed in the Arcturus system, home of the political and military headquarters of the Systems Alliance. The 4th, 6th, 7th, and 8th fleets were based at Earth, Terra Nova, Eden Prime, and Ontarom, respectively, although these latter deployments could periodically change. Each fleet was subdivided into numerous flotillas, which were periodically deployed across the galaxy as required. Of the many sub-branches within the Alliance Navy, the 2 largest and most prominent were the Fleet Air Arm and the Alliance Marine Corps. Both were specialized services responsible for operating the Navy's fighter squadrons and providing ground-based expeditionary operations, respectively. As dictated by tradition and its distinguished role within the Alliance Navy, the Marine Corps was granted the distinction of several unique ranks and honorifics. As part of the Interplanetary Combatives Training, or ICT program, members of the Alliance Navy, alongside their counterparts from terrestrial Earth militaries, were eligible to undergo specialized leadership and combat training. Based in Vila Militar in Rio de Janeiro, candidates trained in jetpack flight, combat driving, linguistics, and frontline trauma care for human and alien biology. ICT qualification enabled a graduate to include a vocational code of N, indicating expertise in special operations, followed by a number of 1 through 7, representing their level of proficiency. Both the ICT program and wider Alliance Navy doctrine gained significant renown across the other Citadel races for their innovative techniques and technology. In contrast to the other great military powers of the galaxy, namely the Krogan clans and Turian hierarchy, the system's alliance prefers to avoid grinding wars of attrition in favor of a kind of leapfrogging strategy. Enemy strongpoints are rarely assaulted directly, but instead bypassed in favor of enemy supply lines, logistical centers, and headquarters units. Once isolated, enemy pockets can be left to wither on the vine or be engaged at an opportune time. This doctrine is a result of the Alliance's comparatively small army, with only roughly 3% of humans volunteering for military service. To make up for this smaller manpower pool, Alliance forces utilize virtual intelligence, drones, artillery, electronic warfare, and armored units as force multipliers. Combined with an emphasis on mobility and individual initiative, the Alliance Navy has often routed far larger enemy forces. Alliance mission-type tactics and strategic doctrine were a response born from the service's earliest major conflict, the First Contact War of 2157, while ultimately a small-scale and relatively bloodless incident resulting from mutual ignorance. It had an enormous effect on the Alliance Navy, as well as outside opinion on human civilization. Unlikely to have been able to prevail against the Turian hierarchy, had the conflict escalated to a full-scale war, the performance of the Alliance Navy, first in its defense of the Shanxi colony, and later in its subsequent liberation, nevertheless greatly impressed the other civilizations of the Citadel Council. Even the Turians regarded the Alliance's capabilities favorably, and the mutual respect that developed here helped ease the tensions left over from the conflict. The Alliance Navy remained at the forefront of humanity's efforts to become a true interstellar civilization. It gained further renown in 2176 after defending the human colony of Elysium from opportunistic pirates and mercenaries in a battle that would come to be known as the Skillian Blitz. Subsequent actions in Thashaka and Torfan would further cement humanity's military prowess. It was during the Battle of the Citadel, however, that the Alliance Navy earned perhaps its greatest victory. An unexpected attack on the station by a fleet of Geth warships led by the Reaper dreadnought Sovereign nearly overwhelmed the Citadel fleets. However, with the intervention of Commander Shepard, the first human Spectre agent, the Alliance 5th Fleet arrived at the decisive moment, shattering the Geth formations and Sovereign itself. The role played by the Alliance Navy in the battle was instrumental in the decision to grant humanity a role on the Citadel Council. Together with the Turian hierarchy, Alliance fleets would be utilized by the Citadel in a galactic peacekeeping role. In just a few decades, the system's alliance had achieved a place of prominence within galactic civilization that others had not accomplished in centuries or millennia. Despite its revolutionary designs and innovative doctrine, the Alliance Navy proved no more capable of resisting the advance of the Reapers during their full-scale invasion of 2186. In battles fought across the solar system and Alliance space, every major numbered fleet suffered significant losses, with some wiped out entirely as effective combat elements. Under the leadership of Admiral Hackett, Alliance forces retreated to various rendezvous points across Citadel space, while Commander Shepard began marshalling galactic resources for a counterattack. During a single decisive engagement, the Alliance Navy was joined by its counterparts from every major interstellar military, fighting the Reapers in orbit of Earth. The outcome of that apocalyptic battle has been lost in the cataclysmic events of the era. All that can be said with some degree of certainty is that the fleet actions in orbit of Earth allowed a major landing of troops onto the surface. Humanity was seen as many things during its brief tenure on the galactic stage, a powerful force for peace, or unrestrained, dangerous upstarts. In many ways, it was both. Yet, whatever future mankind may have won or lost for itself in orbit of Earth, it was paid for in blood by the ships, sailors, and marines of the system's Alliance Navy.
The Templin Institute investigates the nations, factions, and organizations of alternate worlds. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to join the Templin Institute, consider pledging to our Patreon page. Along with increased security access, you'll be able to vote in polls to determine future topics, get custom wallpaper every week, and receive some other exclusive rewards.
I'm Commander Shepard, and I have no strong opinions regarding the Templin Institute one way or the other.